Hello, how are you today, my friend? Thank you for joining me for this exploration. Today I would like to offer a yoga pose. A yoga pose that I believe can assist in helping us discover aspects of our personality, aspects of our awareness that we might not normally experience. Because oftentimes I find that yoga poses, they are made in fact to help us to become more flexible both in body and mind, to help us kind of expand the territory of our experience. For example, as an artist, I was often told that if I stood back from a picture that I was making, I would oftentimes discover new possibilities for completing that picture that I might not otherwise see. And that was because I changed my perspective. I physically altered the space, giving the distance between me and that picture. Another method would be to actually turn the picture upside down to look at it in a slightly different way, turning the picture on its head, as it were. And similar to that in yoga poses, of course, we can invert ourselves, and this does much the similar thing. But these are all examples to help us understand what yoga poses can help us do in our lives. Basically, see past things that have been blocking us, causing us unhappiness, regret in some way, like lessening our ability to kind of see solutions to problems we might be having in our lives. So, with that said, this my series called Postures of Life. What I do is I kind of create a discussion and a forum, as well as a kind of real experience for the viewer, the practitioner to take part in within the yoga posture. So, the yoga posture that I would like to introduce today is known as Bitilasana or cow pose. And before we actually do the pose, I kind of want to set the frame of mind, the frame of perspective, the frame of experience up a little bit. And in doing so, what I present to you is a sort of idea, an idea of what does cow mean to me. Now, the word cow can have many connotations to it that I have heard throughout my life. As a creature, a cow is very kind of hardy and it is very giving, providing us with milk and nourishment that we might carry on through our days to do the activities that we believe fit to live in our lives, to live, as it were, in fullness, with more energy, with more vitality. A cow provides us with nourishment to do so. This is from the products of a cow, but a cow itself, to me, is a very sturdy animal. It's a very patient animal. It's not an animal that demands a lot from the circumstances of life. If we can provide that animal with some basic nourishment, just grain possibly, and maybe some shelter. This is all the animal really requires, and it doesn't really demand this of us. It just kind of lives where these qualities exist and doesn't really ask for much more, providing what it does provide just because that is the nature of the creature. So, like many animals, I believe cows are very beautiful, beautiful living beings, beautiful kind of states of being, very simple, very humble, not asking a lot from life, much like humans can do. We can be very demanding at times. We need a lot of different things in our lives often to feel fulfilled within our lives, but cows are not so. And I wish to also open up the um, the discussion about cow just being a creature, a product of the ultimate intelligence that exists all around us, the energy which permeates all of us, and can be seen beyond different social stereotypes. Like there is an awful derogatory kind of like association with cow and women. And I truly apologize for this experience in one's life. And I hope that not only can we get past that social block, but we can also get past any other block that might cause one to kind of be short-sighted in this activity, to try to open up your consciousness to a place where we might be moving into this realm of consideration of thought and experience with the the goal and the objective to just find a sense of peace, a sense of stability and belonging and joy. So, with that said, I would like to introduce the physical posture if you're not familiar with it already. It's a fairly simple pose, and in order to perform it, I can first move out of this position into what is known as tabletop position. So, in order to move into tabletop, what I do is I kind of project my arms before me. I place my hands on the mat like so. I try to maintain that my shoulders are directly under my wrists. This gives me more stability, as well as my knees are about hip distance apart as I am on all fours. This is known as tabletop position, and it's a transition pose from many other poses, like one would be cow pose, of course, or Bitilasana. So, in order to get into cow from here, what we do is kind of just look forward. As we look forward, we kind of allow our back to become concave, kind of like drooping downward a little bit. We feel that arch, and we also might feel a tilting downward in the front of our pelvis and a tilting upward in the back of our pelvis. So it kind of gives us this alert, aware feeling, this very stable feeling as well. Perhaps a lot of relief in your back as you relieve any kind of tightness in the more kind of like restrictive positions, the more collapsed positions of the back. This can open up your back and relieve back pain in a very gentle and sensitive way, much like the creature it represents. So, once we are in cow pose, I also like to present the question once again. What could a cow mean to you? Not in the sense that holds to social stereotypes, but within your own perspective and within your own life and experience. Also, I wish to present some information that I've come across recently. Being a practitioner of yoga, I've been curious of the place that a cow holds in the Indian society as a sacred animal, and why that might be. And I've done a little research. I'm by no means an expert, but of the research that I've come across, the cow is a sacred animal because it represents um, kind of the plentiful kind of harvest of life, a givingness, a nurturingness. Oftentimes, cows can be a substitute, a safe substitute, their milk for a mother's milk if a mother is unable to produce. Now, I've also found out that cows in India tend to have a lot more nutritional value to their products, the milk and the curd and what's known as ghee, which is like a purified butter form. And these products give so many health benefits, I cannot really remember them all. Among them is helping with eczema, helping with digestive issues, um, helping with other ailments. Interestingly enough, they use cow urine in medicine. I know this might sound very kind of um, maybe gross. For me, it does when I first think of it, but also this is something that helps me expand my awareness and let go of different associations and a rigid state of mind that I might have. So, thinking of it this way, this also works in a kind of removing mental blocks, just kind of opening yourself up to the possibilities that there may be a different way to live life that is maybe somewhat more beneficial than we've been living life. And maybe part of it is humbling ourselves to this animal, this humble animal itself, and kind of getting past the kind of elitism of what is proper to eat and what is not proper to eat. Because, of course, yoga comes from the Indian culture, and I can affirm in my own life that has led to much health and healing. So, why not cow urine? Maybe its properties are very healthy. And I've read in one of the pages they can offer actually help with the condition, the disease of cancer, which is amazing to think such a simple simple thing can help with such a kind of devastating disease that is ravaging the human world, the animal world as well. Um, so that's amazing, I think, and it can also help me to humble myself to think that there is more to understand in life than is offered to me in my culture and what I've known to be right and proper and acceptable. So this is cow pose. You um, might might have found some enjoyment in this pose, some relief in this pose. I hope you have. For me, I kind of have felt there's a certain strain over a period of time. So for me, it would be a good idea to rest at this point, and I'll go ahead and move into the posture that I was in last week, known as Bitilasana or child's pose. It's a resting pose, so it'll be really nice after holding my body upright like this for such a long period of time, especially in my wrists and my arms have gotten kind of tired. So moving into Balasana, how we would do that from this pose is just kind of simply push back to move our bottom back till we're on, kind of resting on our heels, and allow our head to kind of come down and just rest on
the mat on the ground below. A very beautiful way to connect with the earth as well as moving into cow pose. So also I'm kind of coming to an image in my mind of a child and its innocence, and a cow and its sturdiness and stability and groundedness. Um, Maybe a good play companion for a child that is very simple in what it expects, what a child expects in life. There's not a lot of demands. The child finds wonder and joy, and maybe the simpler things that an adult can no longer appreciate because of different experience in life of, maybe becoming somewhat jaded. So maybe these two poses are very kind of connected and very much a good way to spend some of our practice in yoga, some of our practice in life, just remembering these aspects of life a little more authentically as we move into postures that actually resonate with these states of being. So, moving back to the seated position that I was in the beginning, moving hands toward the knees. I just wish to thank you so much for practicing with me today, for listening to me today, for opening your mind up to new experiences of being. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.